Welcome to the introduction portion. I hope you enjoyed the very bad cover song. It was I'm Yours, I believe. It's hard to tell. I don't think that kid could actually say words yet. A little kid on like a ukulele playing I'm Yours and basically mumbling the words. But give that little fucker an A for effort. The song we're jamming to right now is from Cullah's new album. It's called I See, from his new album Cullahsus, which just dropped on April 27th. And that's who our guest is this evening. Yeah, he's back. And he's got a new album to talk about, a whole bunch of new songs to jam out to. So we're pretty excited about that. We'd like to thank our sponsors for this episode. Comics Watching Comics. You can find that show on Amazon Prime. They got seasons 1 through 5 up right now, and season 6 should be coming soon. Don't have a date yet on exactly when it's coming, but it's coming. So, don't worry, it'll be here. Amazon Prime, go check it out. All their social media shit, go send them some love. Also, sponsoring this episode is the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast, hosted by Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul. Two New York area comedians talking sports and movies, all that good stuff. And go to their social media. They're on all the podcast streaming platforms. They're on all the social media. Send them some love. All right, we're going to get into this now with our man, one of our favorite musicians, Cullah.
With three severed heads. Three severed heads. Oh, I sit forever, not far from home, learning to live.
Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
You are listening to SARGE Approved, but you knew that.
Yeah,
it's
welcome.
Not, you intentionally pushed the play button. You knew what you were listening to.
You knew what you were getting into.
And here we are. Frenzy, who we got tonight?
Sarge, we have one of our favorite musicians, legitimately one of our favorite musicians, back on the show. Cullah is joining us.
Yes! What's up, Cullah?
How's it going, guys? Good to be here, as always.
Good. Yeah, we're excited to have you on again.
because when Frenzy says that you're one of our favorite musicians, she's not bullshitting. You without a doubt are one of our favorite musicians. We stumbled upon your music, year and a half or so ago.
Yeah.
And we had been listening to your stuff. We just stumbled across it and started listening to all your albums because you had like 7 or 8 of them out last year when we found you. And we jam out to your stuff all the time. And at one point we're like, we need to try to get a hold of this guy and get him on the show and like actually have a conversation with him. And I think I tweeted you.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
Tweet me.
You're the only person I've ever tweeted about being
Ever.
on the, yeah,
Ever.
pretty much. and yeah, so we had you on. It's been almost exactly a year.
Yeah.
But we pay homage to you and how big of fans we are to your music. I know right now we're just kind of like, we're going to stroke your ego for a second here, okay? So bear with us. We play, at the end of every episode, we play a song. We play a full song by a band or musician, somebody who's not like mainstream, that we enjoy their music, but other people may not necessarily have heard of. And we like to put that out there at the end of every episode and like, help extend the reach of that song. It's like, this is something that we found that we think is badass and we think you should hear it too. And we end up using your songs probably without a doubt, more than any other musician or band that we've stumbled across.
Yeah, they fit a lot of our guests. Plus, after getting to know you a little bit more and finding out that you release all your music for free, and you just want people to enjoy it and hear it, that made us even bigger fans after knowing that. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy you guys like it, and I appreciate you guys facilitating that and helping out. And
Of course, and we still need to. And you're over in Milwaukee, over there,
right next door,
Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
So we need to get a time to come see you too. Perform.
Yes,
That'd
we're
be
gonna
awesome.
try to get Cullah here in the Twin Cities performing somewhere.
Heck yeah.
And
Yeah, I've been trying to get stuff. I was in talks with the Ice House.
Oh,
I don't know if
nice.
it's just Ice House. But
Yeah.
then the headliner fell through, and so now. But I got a bunch of bands up there. We got bills to make. I just got to send the emails, hopefully, and see what sticks.
Yeah, that'd be
I was
awesome.
talking to Sarge a little bit about that.
yeah, we're gonna look and see with our contacts and friends and stuff, and see if there's something we can find too. That would be awesome if you could come to the Twin Cities. And
Yeah, I was trying to come up there more often. I got a lot of friends up there, and you guys obviously as part of that. And
Yeah.
I think it's a great city. I always enjoy going up there. So there's lots of music and lots of opportunity. So
Absolutely.
Milwaukee is a little smaller rather.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and now that the weather's actually getting better, and my other world, I work in like the restaurant industry, so I probably have some contacts I could set you up with too, bars and stuff around here. So we can talk about that another time.
offline.
Yeah.
I got here's a little trivia question for you, Cullah, and you can partake too, Francie. If you notice at the beginning of the episode when we play the theme song, the very first audio you hear is actually from a Cullah song.
yeah,
It
note
is.
that.
Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown. That's a little homage to Cullah every single episode. Do you know what
I don't know what song that
I'm
is.
sure Cullah does.
He
What-
should know.
What song is that from, Cullah?
Yeah, I know what song.
What song is
I
that?
actually don't know how it's pronounced, but it's My Soul or Mo Sal. I can't pronounce it. It's Irish for My Soul.
It's like
Yes.
MAO or something.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, Mosaol, I think is how it's pronounced. It's spelled
Yeah.
rather.
Something like that.
Yeah, that one's on all the colors of the rainbow, I think, right? So,
Yes, I believe so. One of my favorite albums, All the Colors of the Rainbow, and what was the other one called? Go on the website right now. That one and Be Love Not Fear. That's one of my favorite ones.
everybody up in Twin Cities like that.
Really? I'm a
I don't know.
total.
It's the only other people I've been up there. I shot a little music video up. Some Twin Cities filmmakers wanted to do a music video, and they had this whole acting thing. They got me in this costume. There's all union,
Oh, funny.
like union actors, and they were just playing "Be Love Not Fear" like in this venue the whole time. It was for the song through another man's eyes.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
So this was, what was the acting gig? You said it was a music video?
Yeah, it wasn't a very public one. I think it was just more. I think it was more. I don't know if it was more of a personal project or it was in close circles. It wasn't like blasted over YouTube or anything. I think they had it private.
Okay.
So it wasn't. But I have a few pictures from it. It was like steampunk theme. It was like a story about like a girl, and this filmmaker. She reached out to me, and what the craziest thing was, I went there and I didn't know anyone or anything. Or like, I'd just gotten back, I think, from studying it in Ireland, and it was like the weekend after, and I just drove up to Twin Cities, stay with my buddies up there in Uptown.
Oh yeah.
And when I was on the set, like just kind of twiddling my thumbs, waiting, just grabbing some snacks. So this guy came up to me who was the lead actor in the music video, and he started quoting my songs to me. And he came up to me, he's like, "Man, most people can't fly, but I can."
So he knew who you were.
That's awesome.
He knew your music.
So yeah, and then he started to tell me that his show reel, of like his acting reel rather, that he used to submit, because when he saw there was an opening for a gig, it just said music video, and then about what kind of actor they're looking for, male, whatever, looks like this. He had used some of my songs for his acting reel, not even knowing he was applying for a music video for my music, and I was just like totally blown away. Just like, whoa.
Wow.
That would be insane.
Stars align.
Meant to be, I suppose, huh?
So that's up. A lot of good things, a lot of good signs up in Twin Cities for me.
Yeah.
I'm a total sap for that, from that Be Love Not Fear album, for the Save My Soul and Who Am I. Those are like two of, like, they're probably number 1 and 2 out of all of your songs. And one of the crazy things about you is that, one, you just turned 27, and so you're really young still, and you put out like legit really good music. You're insanely talented, and you're prolific. You're like insanely prolific. You put out an album every single year on your birthday, a full album, and you give it away for free, and it's legit. Your music is badass.
April 27th.
Yeah, April 27th.
And you just came out with the latest one.
I'm done stroking your ego. I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, you're making him uncomfortable. It's like, does he dudes?
It's good. It's good to keep some validation's always good,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I gotta imagine the life of a musician can be pretty damn difficult. It's a constant struggle, I imagine.
I feel like I've kind of only done it this last year. This Cullahsus album was kind of my first year really doing it full time. Mm-hmm. So like pretty much full time musician now, doing it, and I'm really happy about that. And you're right. It is. I mean, it takes a few years to, I think, get things going. I think even like small businesses on average, it takes a few years to even make a profit. Stuff like that. It's going to take some time. But yeah, all those albums I kind of just did it just happened. I wasn't planning to make an album every year. I just had enough material that it was just happening, and I just kept doing it.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And so this last year is just like really, I think it's a much more honed in, crafted album. There are more complexities. Mm-hmm. More like it's a whole full thing.
So Cullahsus is the newest one.
Yeah, we got to plug that shit real quick.
And I love the cover art for it. I think all of your albums, all the cover art's very unique, but this is probably my most favorite out of all of them so far.
Break down that cover art for us. I have a feeling, I was looking at it today, I'm like, I feel like the cover art has like a bunch of different, everything has kind of its own meaning or some kind of reference to a song in the album.
Yeah, it does. This is all the great work of Brendan Loscar. He's this amazing illustrator and graphic, just extraordinaire. He does so many great things. He's out of Portland, he just reached out to me on Instagram, like he reached out to me on Twitter. The internet's a beautiful thing. I'm glad I'm using Instagram now because I get a lot of connections with people.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big of a platform it was. But he reached out to me, and he's like, "Hey, I'd love to, do something." And that's kind of how all the album arts have been. Like they all have been people who wanted to do it, like my friends from the beginning, or I just did it if no one could do it.
Yeah.
But the whole cover is the kind of the whole era, or like the aura around it is kind of like you're talking about stroking the ego and stuff. Like the Cullahsus, like the ego is something that I'm trying to like figure out, like because I haven't been, I've kind of been very inward with my music and releasing it on the internet and stuff, but haven't really performed or like doing it full time or really committed or like had that much like investment in it as much as I did this year. So I felt like I kind of wanted to hone it into a projection of like a larger than life like version of myself, of like kind of an idealized, inflated, like a very large, like, it's, and that's essentially what the cover is Cullahsus. It's from the Colossus of Rhodes, and you can, which is the whole, I think it's a Greek word, it just means really, really big.
It's a fancy word for really big.
And that's what, yeah, that's what the Colosseum is even, it's this, it's not like the name of a special building, really big building, so the Colossus is essentially, it's not me, it's just like it's in my likeness, but it's just kind of a fantasy of me, and he's standing over in that hill, which is basically a bunch of buildings of Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
And then, and there's a balance between the country and the city and, the mountains and water. And then there's songs in there, like there's King Jebediah, Falcon Messiah. He's on there on top of the Colossus, kind of giving direction a little bit. And there's some stars and moons for like the Helios 3 song about making a ship in outer space. And then there's the shack, which is like some land that my family has up in Wausau, halfway between here and where your guys are at, up north in the North Woods. So I kind of just like gave him a bunch of ideas. We had a couple drafts of things, and he's just so amazing. I knew whatever he was going to do was going to be amazing. So like, I was really happy to have him be a part of it, and definitely adds a lot to just everything about the album. And it's really great to hear that's your favorite.
Yeah, it is.
Favorite cover.
It kind of reminds
happy to
me.
hear.
Yeah, let him know for sure. It kind of reminds me of like I'm an 80. I was born in '79, so I'm kind of an '80s cartoonish kid, and it kind of reminds me in a little bit of a way, kind of like He-Man-ish, and kind of that old school like cartoony kind of thing. But it's
Master
also
of the Universe.
Yeah, exactly. But then you also have your
Master of the Universe song.
Yeah,
I love that one.
You also have your symbol in a lot of your album covers, which this one's fit in there. And we talked about it the last time that you were on. The 3 lines with the 3 dots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What did that
Yeah,
mean
the
again?
Allen.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
It's Alwyn.
Alwyn.
And it was interesting going to Ireland. I saw it. I don't know if we talked about it before, but seeing it all over, talk about validation, and of like part of why I was able to commit to this last year was like in part with like kind of seeing those things, and whether or not it's me making those connections and coincidences, whatever you want to think, but to me, like, there's definitely subconscious parts of it that, like, when I see these symbols or when I see things, you make the connection in your head, or that connection is allowed to happen, or you connect with things and it helps validate. And you did a good job with the writing that too. Mm-hmm. It's kind of this like ball of energy source that's kind of just there. And I described to him a dream I had, and I think that's maybe part where he got that from. I had a dream where I was like kind of essentially. I've had a lot of crazy lucid dreams my whole life. When I was a kid, I was able to like get into lucid dreams like almost every night and just like fantasize about the world and everything. And I'd be able to to just be total dream state and just be totally aware. And some crazy stuff would happen in dreams. And one of it was like flying through outer space, and there's this big, it must have been a sun, or it didn't seem like a sun. It was just like a being. There's this big ball of light. They went to it, and I was like, "Whoa, man, must be God." That's what I was thinking. It must be God. I'm dreaming. I'm meeting God. And I was talking. I'm like, "What? Hey, God, what's the meaning of life?"
Why does everyone ask that?
I was thinking, what's the answer? What's the question you ask? But then I remember like feeling in my head like there was like a record skip or something, and it was very clear that it was me imagining this, because I had like this sensation of me like trying to come up with an answer, right? Like I'm the one answering, because it's just in my dream. And then there was a pause, and then the whole ball of light just said, "Go fuck yourself," and then flew away. And I just started laughing. I was like, "Oh man, that's hilarious."
That's awesome.
So I don't know.
So you've had these lucid dreams. Have you gotten to a point where you're aware that it's a dream, like a truly lucid dream, where you can you're fully aware that, okay, I'm in a dream, this is my show, and I can decide how this story turns out, and like you can control what happens and just have fun with it?
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. It's an interesting thing. It's like you can't be too conscious and think of it, otherwise you like wake up. It's like there'll be situations where the more and more aware, or like conscious, like I'll be aware, but it's like happening naturally. Like sometimes I'll make a conscious decision, but it won't be really that conscious. It won't be me like, what should I do next? This. It's more like it happens naturally, and I'm more aware of it. It's like a lucid state. So when I start thinking more consciously, then I can see actually like the world, the dream world, quote, whatever, like slowly fade away. It fades out.
Right.
So like the more conscious I am, the more disattached I am from whatever was projecting in my dream.
There's people that claim they can perform certain exercises throughout the day, like while they're awake and conscious, that can prepare them and kind of get them in a state where that they can intentionally have lucid dreams consistently. So as soon as they get into a dream, they have some kind of exercise, some kind of thing, almost Inception-like, like the whole thing with a little top. There's a thing like that, like
right.
that you can do that.
Just opening a door, or pinching yourself,
something like
or
that,
like something that will only happen in reality that won't necessarily happen in your dream. Because like unless your dreams are that insane that it's like it's so close to reality, you can feel pain in your dream, but. But I don't know. I mean, that's never. I actually dream in black and white most of the time.
Really?
I never really. Yeah, I never dream in color.
What?
It's only a few times, and when I do dream in color, it's all the same color.
Yeah, right.
I don't see color. There's the name of your new album. I don't see Cullah.
There you go.
I've had those dreams before, and every time that I've ever had like lucid dream, I always end up like waking myself up, and I'm not waking myself up, but I'm like crying in my dream, but I'm crying in real life.
You watch too many TV shows that are just straight up like mainlining drama.
No.
And there's so many shows that you watch where like you cry because it's like chock full of drama. Like that's the whole thing, is just pulling on every single emotional string possible.
No, that's not true. I don't cry during every show I watch. There's one show that makes me cry every episode, and you know what that is, and that's the only show that I ever cry to when I watch it.
What is it called?
This is
Us.
Yeah. The whole show, like
every episode.
The characters are crying the entire show.
They did a bit on Saturday Night Live, like, I can't stop crying.
I'm not going to watch that show ever.
But there's
I was
some
girl for a little bit. I forget what show she was watching.
Probably
it was actually pretty good at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it got pretty bad, but I ended up, it was the same thing. Just like you were saying, Sarge, like pulling it every. It's so formulaic. It's like they know exactly, how to get you.
They figured out.
Get you really happy, and then they'll just break it all down.
They figured out these algorithms
on a T.
Yeah. They have
Yeah,
these
it's
like
just
set
like
algorithms for all these shows, and they know, just like in the music industry, there's these writers that write songs for all these big names, and a lot of the big names don't even write their own music. They have these dudes that like have this like algorithm for
Oh, yeah.
for music, commercial, songs that they know are going to be radio hits, and everyone's, they're catchy as hell. They have, the exact right words in the exact right spots, per
Oh, yeah.
verse.
4 choruses.
Yeah, everything is just perfectly laid out. There's like a script for making a hit radio, top 40 type song. There's a fucking algorithm to it, basically.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say something. That's like a cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing something like I was talking to which I just started doing last night, or no, it was earlier today. I was looking at the Billboard Top 40 because a couple people have come to me and talked to me about YouTube. There is a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of potential in YouTube. There's so much money in it now. People are
Right.
making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month by just
Yeah.
making
YouTube
videos
stars.
about video games or whatever. And people can make incredible amounts of money. And I think I have a large body of work in that sense that people will, like you guys are saying, you stumble upon it and then you have a whole library to go with. And so if people are interested in that, they can just dive in, and it takes a while, and you can get in it can be a bigger investment.
You have
And
11 albums, Cullah. You have released 11 albums, including this current one, Cullahsus. That's impressive.
Yeah, I think I did the math in 2020 when I released my album. I'll have a album for half of my life.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's the short term goal I got.
That's a
Just
big
gotta do 2 more years.
accomplishment, though.
Wait, no, yeah, a few more.
And you've got it where you can go to your to Cullah.com and you can get the whole discography of all of the albums for $10. And if you donated in the past, you can get them all, download them all for free. But I think that I don't know,
Yeah,
it's just, there's something to say
I
about you
certainly-
putting out great music, but also making it where it's readily available to anyone to listen to. That's something very unique that I hope that you
I
can
always just thought
continue
it
to
was
keep doing.
why are we building the barriers between the music and the listener?
Yeah,
I was just like, why it should be as easy as possible.
exactly.
For someone to listen to my music.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says, "Oh, you're a musician. Are you on SoundCloud or whatever?" I'll be like, "Yeah, everything, man." I don't know how. People, it's an interesting thing to try and deliver that music to people, And so I've always tried to just be like, okay, well, I'll just be on everything as much as I can, make it, do all the barriers, remove as many barriers as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, boom, here, you want to listen? It's right here. If you like it, it's great. If not, well, there's 11 more albums.
There's 11 more. And I like, too, on the website, you can turn X-ray vision on or off, which is a cool little feature.
What is X-ray vision?
So it lists all the albums. It has all the album covers. And if you turn X-ray vision on, it tells you, it kind of gives you a description of what kind of music is in that album.
Where is this?
On Cullah.com.
I know, I'm on Cullah.com right now.
Discography.
I think the discography page.
Discography.
I did that for filmmakers and stuff I think people are interested in it anyway.
Cool.
I found it interesting.
I do too. I think it's great. It's a great idea.
This is interesting too. You push X-ray vision, and it shows the kind of musical genres that the album is comprised of. And that was something I wanted to bring up. Is, do you feel you fit into a particular genre of music? Because your range when it comes to your songs and your albums is pretty wide, in my opinion. You fall under a lot of categories depending on the song. I think it's my turn.
No, definitely. Yeah, I mean, when people say that, I just list all the genres. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
But then people they don't really still don't have an understanding. So I just start. I think for this album, when you download it, I labeled the genre as blap, just because it's I don't know, blap. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just be fusion, or it'd be I don't know. This one's definitely more hip hop and electro funk.
Yep.
I'd say. Like, it leans more on that, but there's still those folk like tunes and.
Well,
it's
that's one of the things that I've liked the most about your music is that because I have a pretty wide range of what I like, when it comes to music, as long as it sounds good, I don't care what the genre is, what class it falls under.
Same.
And so, with all your albums, I mean, within an album itself, you have multiple songs that are, one sounds like it's bluegrass, one sounds like hip hop, one sounds like a rock song. There's one that sounds like all three combined. And so, like, you get a taste of everything, especially if you have a wide range of what you like in music. And so that's one of the things that I've also enjoyed about your music is you kind of cover all the bases.
I think that I'm surprised there's not as much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people are the whole idea of genres. I think are like starting to melt away, even just in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I think like. I mean, there'd still be there. I don't like everyone needs a label to put on it. I think.
Yeah, you gotta have those teams.
But like, to me, it's always like you just have to listen to it because I can't describe it. I feel like I've tried to put a genre on it and stuff, and it's never been part of my MO. Like, it's never been part of my intentions. It's to be like, I'm gonna make a hip hop song or I'm gonna make a bluegrass song. Like you're saying, like you listen to so many different things. That's how I feel. I grew up listening to everything. So like to me, it's not really a surprise that like I make music like all over the place because I like all the types of music.
Yeah.
And and I know that everyone does too. But I guess it's harder. I think maybe for a lot of musicians because a lot of musicians rely on groups. Mm-hmm. And like I perform with groups, but this record, there's only one other person on this record. And that's my little sister, Nora.
Aww.
And so like it's all everything, like no one else is playing anything, that's kind of how it's been my whole thing. So I can have total control over it. And so I think like if you're in a band or something, it's much harder everyone has to have that range. You know what I mean? Or at least to some of them do.
Yeah.
It might be there's more layers of complexity. Perhaps. That's my guess because I mean I'm sure there's still plenty of very versatile musicians that are solo or not.
Yeah.
But a lot of them choose like one style because that's kind of the norm. You're supposed to pick like, okay, I'm a country singer, I'm a rock band, I'm a hip hop group. Everyone that's kind of just the norm, the way it's been in the music industry since pretty much ever, since genres started popping up. And so, in a way, you're going against the flow there. You're just like, I'm just going to do all of them. Well, I got pissed. You guys talk.
And I think people like it. You're saying, you listen to everything. So why shouldn't an album be like that? I don't know. Like why not?
Yeah.
Some people will say that, and I've gotten critical feedback from people being like, I don't know, it's like kind of all over the place. And, and I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that, but it's good to hear that. But it's like you're saying, kind of maybe going against the grain. They're not saying they don't like the music. They're just like, okay, well, if I were to think, it's kind of like, not as balanced or this. But to me, I think that's a good sign that if someone is feeling that or like sensing that, then that means like maybe I'm doing it right. Then in that sense, if that's the purpose, is to just like reflect I want to reflect what I wanted, like my inspirations and my influences as well as I can, and like even this, I was like, I don't know, maybe this is a little too hip hop and electro, oriented. I want it to be even more balanced, but it's like, nah. Well, Cullahsus, this kind of record, I was trying to get in touch a little more with my roots. That's really what I was trying to do. I think the last one, was a tragedy, calamity, and it was just kind of like it was very more concept, like just a lot of similar styles. There's one really funky tune, and then the rest were pretty like stripped down.
Yeah, Lonely Spider is one of my favorite ones on that one. Lonely Spider. Well,
yeah.
I love that one. Well, and I think too,
I play that with the banjo now.
Oh, you do? Oh, I need to hear that. That'd be awesome. Well, and I think that everyone that has, musicians that they're fans of, you've got your favorites, and your favorites just kind of resonate with you no matter what. You like for me, I hear a song and I know if I hear it the first time and I like it, I know that I'm going to like it even more. So having it kind of be different, and there's no right or wrong, which is the beauty of it.
I'm back.
He's back. We were talking about the album before this one, how it was just kind of a lot more similar. But I was saying Lonely Spider is one of my favorite songs on that album.
Lonely Spider.
On Calamity.
Yeah, I love that one too.
Yep.
Yeah, that people really like that. And I started talking about it now, performing with talking about how it's the sequel to Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He said he plays with a banjo now.
It's like a modern spin on Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Uh-huh.
You play the banjo?
Yeah, I've been playing the banjo since the summer, and I've really, really started to like fall in love. Really, like that Hurricane song. Literally, it's the first song that I ever played on the banjo, and I was just wrote it, learning the basic, bluegrass GCD kind of style, like very much like the Stanley Brothers. I don't know if you've heard them, but they're amazing. And I was picking up the banjo, and now I can play kind of like a claw hammer style and play really fast, but like still have those like bass melodies going with all the stuff, and I just love it. It's so mesmerizing.
That's awesome.
And Spider play that like full speed, like it's a different sound.
Yeah.
But it's a completely different song, like when I play it. But I kind of like doing that when I perform, to like let the songs evolve in a different way. Because when I record it, it's totally different. Like that Lonely Spider is such a like soft and like playful vibe and stuff. And sometimes live, like when you're competing against everything and you want to keep the audience's engagement, sometimes like unless you have them already engaged. Like because a lot of times I'm playing at bars or something, or like people where there's a bar at least close by, or and don't necessarily have everyone's attention. So when you bust out that banjo and really fast, people start to pay attention.
Hell yeah! Hey, Frenzy, you've got an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Siri a question.
Okay.
I haven't asked Siri any questions in a while. Can you put her like on speaker, up to your microphone?
Yes.
Okay. I would like you to ask her to define the word mother.
Well, my Siri is an Australian man, so...
That's cool.
Okay.
Him. Mate.
Siri, what is the definition of a mother?
As a noun, it means a woman in relation to a child or children to whom she has given birth.
They give
Do
you
you
a
want
sec.
to hear the next one?
Yes.
Yes.
As a verb, it means bring up a child with care and affection. Do you want to hear the last one?
Yes.
Yes.
As a verb, it means give birth to.
I don't think that was what we were looking for, right?
No, they must have changed it. Damn it.
They change them after
That
people...
didn't work. Because I read this article. Anytime I stumble upon one of these Siri glitches, apparently it would ask you to define the word. You ask it to define the word mother, and the first definition says it's a woman who has children. When I ask if you want to hear the second definition, they say yes. You say yes, and Siri will tell you that the word mother is short for motherfucker.
Oh.
I was trying to get Siri to say motherfucker. It would have been even better in that Australian accent. Well, that bit didn't work.
No, that didn't work. That's okay.
Hey, you can't win all.
There's some funny things
Breaking
that
down.
I've asked Siri before.
Oh, I know. Like the Inception thing.
Yeah, Inception. Or
And ask him to beatbox
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. What's your...
Yeah,
so
I just
what...
started.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just started using the OK Google a couple times, to remind me of things. I just got a Pixel phone. So happy that I had this old Samsung 5 that survived being submerged completely in the Mississippi River.
Oh, nice.
I jumped in there. I was in Winona, and jumped in there. Forgot. It was like one of those things where I took my phone out and I was like, should I jump in the? Like, I don't know. And I put it back in, and then moments later, some of my buddies decided to jump off, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, we're doing this. So then I jumped off, and I'm like, oh no, my phone is in my pocket, and I came out and I took off the battery right away, and then it was okay. It survived. I had to get a new battery, but the phone was okay.
The phone was okay. That's good.
Well, those Samsung 5s were the Galaxy
I dropped
S5.
it into the Wisconsin River.
You didn't need a bag of rice or anything?
No, I heard that that's not necessarily like I thought that was a good thing, but now I'm reading things that's not actually like healthy for your phone. That actually the rice, the micro particles in the rice can actually get into your phone.
The tardigrades.
You gotta Google this. Tardigrades.
Yeah.
The
Maybe
ancients.
if you like wrap your phone in paper towel and then put it in rice or something. I don't know. Maybe that. Like I don't know. I just remember there being some pushback against the rice.
I mean, it makes
I
sense.
didn't
It
use rice.
sounds legit. Rice, you know, what's more absorbent than rice? If you put it in a bag of noodles, would that work? Ramen. What if you put it in a bag of ramen?
Back in my phones?
You put your wet phone in a bag of ramen noodles, and by the time it's completely soaked up the water and dried out your phone, you have like a bag of noodles you can eat.
Yeah, I guess they've tested like cat litter, couscous, instant oatmeal.
Couscous.
Yeah,
Oatmeal, that sounds like that could work.
I don't know.
Did any of them work?
It says the dangers of the rice method is getting dust inside your phone.
Yeah, okay.
It says
I
that
mean,
rice is one
That's
of the
better
most
than water, though.
recommended, but it's actually a myth. They tested 7 materials most people have in their home.
Bastards, who started that then?
And I guess it just says time is of the essence. If you remove the cell from the water immediately, usually it'll be okay.
But those Samsung Galaxy S5s, I had one of those, and those were supposed to be 100% waterproof up to a certain depth.
Yeah, you just put it.
Yeah,
here it says you just put it in
they
the
were
dryer.
like that, but they had a little like a plug at the bottom that you had to plug up your charger port, and then I lost the like plug.
Oh yeah,
like,
so it's
probably
wide open.
The first month I had the phone.
You would think
like, okay, well.
You would think that these cell phone companies could come up with a pretty damn easy way to make our phones fully submergible, and I mean an array of different technological advances.
And you wouldn't buy a new one.
We've been to outer space. We should be able to have cell phones that can withstand the bottom of a fucking lake or something.
The Mississippi.
I'm sure there's no way, but planned obsolescence. It's built into the economic driving forces of cell phone manufacturers.
If it's indestructible, you never have to buy another one.
You're going to break one. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to make profit if you.
No.
That's
iPhone's coming out with an iPhone 6.5.
Gotta love capitalism.
Ugh.
It's so great in so many ways.
Speaking of random things, have you heard about this new Kanye West song where the verses are like poopity scoop, scoopity doop, doopity whoop whoop poop?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about?
I am
not a Kanye fan, but apparently he came out with a new song.
Wait, what is
last
it
week he dropped his first single in 2 years, and the track is called "Lift Yourself."
So that's why he's going all talking in politics and stuff. He's hyping up his new song.
Yeah, he's supporting Trump in the song.
I just looked it up. Can I play?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see if this is it here.
I just want to hear it.
Whoopie dee scoop, scoop dee dee whoop, whoop dee scoop dee poop, poop dee scoop dee whoop. Whoopie dee scoop whoop poop, poop dee dee whoop scoop, poop, poop, scoop dee dee whoop, whoop dee dee scoop, whoop dee dee scoop poop.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is.
Someone's going to memorize that.
Oh my gosh!
People have already memorized. The memes are going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is he
Poop
on?
did he scoop?
I want to try whatever he's on.
I think that's what he's doing. He's setting it up for people to meme, to become a meme. He's doing. It's kind of what he is. He's just like a.
He comes
he's the type of
across.
character.
Kanye comes across as somebody who's like absolutely snapped. Like he's somebody who is just out there, wacky as shit. But maybe he's a genius. Well, it seems like he might be a genius.
On the single, the only part that he's actually featured on is the poop diddy scoop part.
Poop diddy scoop. I was like bouncing to that. It's catchy.
Yeah. That was a good kick drum. And...
He's either high as hell or he's a genius, or both.
Yeah,
I think he's just like trying to push something, just trying to do something different, trying to mess with people. Or
after 2 years of no singles, like that's what you got.
We're talking about it right now. That's what he wants.
That's what he wants.
His poop diddy scoop song. I love it.
No, I think it is. It's like he's just making a meme.
That'd be great. Somebody needs to start a poop scoop company where you come to your house, because I know they're out there where people come out and like scoop up your dog poop in your backyard for you, so you don't have to do it.
Pooper scoopers.
And that could be their theme song. They could license it. They could. I'm
sure they're clamoring.
That'd be more for like a cat litter service company that come into your house
there you go.
and do your cat
or
box.
even just a cat litter company.
Yeah.
Poop-a-diddy
scoop.
Poop-a-diddy scoop.
Wow.
I can see
Poop diddy scoop poop. Yep.
Tidy Cat, the new Tidy Cat
that.
commercial. Oh, there you go. Tidy Cat needs to sponsor Kanye West and his Poop Diddy Scoop song.
Poopy scoop. Scoop dee whoop. Whoop dee scoop dee poop.
Bye, Tidy Cat.
Oh, wow.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Get on it, Tidy Cat. Is that the name of the litter, Tidy Cat?
Tidy Cat.
Yeah,
Tidy Cats,
I need to
something
get on
like that. Yeah.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah, there's a few.
Is that the big hitter in the kitty litter?
I don't know. I buy my stuff at Aldi. It's cheap. My cat doesn't
big
care.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Big kitty litter.
Yep.
So this is the first. You're saying this is the first year that you have been able to like focus full time on an album. So that means you're no longer dealing with like a 9 to 5.
That's true. That's one of those songs. Not be 9 to thrive.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Congratulations, my friend. That's badass.
I'm looking at the tax. Tax came out, definitely broke even. So I was like, all right, good first year. Got a lot more to do, but
there's something about that that's just really, really like inspiring and just really, really badass to hear, because even if you're not getting rich that first year, you're not being able to go out and buy a new car or anything like that, but you're able to pay the bills and not have to work a 9 to 5 and focus on something that you actually have a passion for. That's pretty damn amazing. Not many people get to experience that.
Yeah, I think I tried the 9 to 5. I worked in software for a bit, and I wrote my website, and and I can always do that if I want to, but I don't want to if I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I think I really enjoy writing, but writing for my website is pleasure enough. I get to do all the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's not. There's not many places, I think, in the States, or I don't know, maybe that I'm aware of, that you can do the rent that I have here in this neighborhood, River West in Milwaukee, is just amazing. Incredibly affordable. And there's a great scene here in Milwaukee. It's a smaller city, and there's definitely nothing going on here. There's stuff happening every weekend. Great musicians everywhere. That's part of my last year here. Has just been networking. Just trying to go out to everywhere I can, and meet as many people as I can that I like. Mm-hmm. Find people that are here, and then try and connect with them, figure out what's going on here in Milwaukee. And I visit my friends in LA or New York or San Francisco, and even in Denver and other places. It's how did you can't do that there? At least I couldn't do that right now, especially. No. I don't know, going to New York, it's how are you an actor and live here? What?
Well, their apartments are the size of a bathroom, and you pay $1,200 a month.
You have to work 10 jobs.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's okay, you're an actor, but not full-time actor.
No,
I guess.
You're a waiter.
I can only imagine how tough that has got to be. But also, maybe there's more opportunity there too. L.A.
True.
I just came back from there and met some people, and there's so much media there.
Yeah.
So it's okay, well, maybe I could go there. I might have to work, but I could actually work maybe in the industry.
Right.
But I don't know. I'd rather do it myself, work for myself. But you have those connections and they're valuable. And so we'll see if I can build something here in Milwaukee, and that might have a home base, and then just be able to be more fluid, and just be able, if I get a point, I don't need a new car per se, but if I did, it would be to be able to travel around, more reliably, and go anywhere. And I'll just have to know that I just pay that cheap rent back home, and I don't have to, like, I don't know.
Yeah, you can be successful other places. I mean, they're one of our favorite comedians that's been on the show, Chad Daniels. He's from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, which is like this tiny little town of, I don't even know, a population of like a couple thousand people, maybe.
7. I think there's 7 people there.
But he lives there full time, but he travels all over the country doing stand up, and
he's one of the
That's
top.
the man if you guys that grind.
One of the top, headliners in the country, in my opinion.
yeah.
Chad Daniels?
But he's doing it. He's living in Fergus Falls, like going to coffee shops, and their population's 13,000, which, I mean, compared to Minneapolis, it's like 350,000.
Right.
Minneapolis has got to be more than that. Really? It's only 350,000?
I don't know. I just threw out a number.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it'd clear.
Milwaukee's about 500,000, I think.
Yeah, Minneapolis and St. Paul, at least combined, I bet you there's like 5 million.
You
people.
can't combine
Probably.
them. They're twin cities.
That's why it's called Twin Cities.
I bet you it's about the same as Milwaukee. I think it's a little bigger, but there's also like you can count. Well, you're going to count the greater Twin Cities
I'm
area.
just counting
That's probably gonna be
Minneapolis.
Well, Minneapolis and
That's
St.
gotta be
Paul
what
are
they're playing.
conjoined twins.
No, they're separate, though.
They're
They're
separate.
separate.
They're separate cities, but they're conjoined twins.
They're twins. They're next to each other. They're not conjoined.
They
They're
are
not
totally
Siamese.
conjoined.
They'd be,
No, they're
then
not
it would be-
Siamese. That's racist. They're conjoined.
Okay. 393,000.
For Minneapolis?
Yep.
Oh, wow. You were pretty damn close.
It was 270. When
I really
grew up
thought it
there.
would be more than that.
No.
Huh.
And then St. Paul.
Freaking cold, man.
Yeah, right.
So-
we have the luxury of keeping people away because of the cold, and they don't have any idea
Yeah.
what summer's like. So
Yeah,
stay
they don't
away.
Handle this shit
Yeah.
if you're going to be in Minnesota.
It was
Exactly.
it was 80 today, and we just got 18 inches of
Yeah,
snow
it
like
was
2 weeks
70.
ago.
70s here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So-
70 again tomorrow. 74. That's the forecast.
And then St. Paul is 300,000, so you figure almost 700,000
Wow,
between
only-
the two.
Wow, less than $1 million for both of them combined.
Milwaukee's
surprised.
595,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay.
is it the county or the city?
The city.
So,
Oh, yeah.
as
Lots of
so
beer
that's
drinkers.
you said the last
That's
year.
a lot of beer. That's a lot of PBRs.
A lot of beer. A lot of PBRs, exactly.
Hey, we should go.
Beards and PBRs.
Milwaukee's
That's
best.
another thing, man. Going to any of these places, man, the beer prices are out of control.
Are they?
Like,
Because all the
here,
craft
in this
beers,
neighborhood-
brewery stuff?
Where I'm you can like.
What's
there's
your neighborhood?
beers- there's a place you can go for $2 and get a local craft brew
Okay.
for $2. Like some of the best beers in the city. Just go down the street and you can get it. But like PBRs, I think when I was in LA, it was like go to a bar and get a PBR for $8. It's like yeah, I don't think I can do that out of principle.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I've
I'd
done
rather
that.
have something else. Because like a PBR, I know what that is.
Yeah, I'm very familiar.
Pay less
I know
for a
it's not
cocktail
$8.
sometimes.
But I guess when everyone makes more money and it's the standard of living is higher there, so people usually get paid a little more too.
Yeah.
One of the
they
first
do.
gigs I got out of school was a software gig in San Francisco, but I was living in my parents' basement, waiting for my friend's lease to expire so I could move in with them. And I think that was where I actually had the conversation with you guys last year. It was
Yeah.
in my parents' basement, and I was getting San Francisco rates, but living, having no expenses. So it was crazy.
San
People can do that. I had
Francisco?
a friend in college that worked for the NSA or something, and then he started doing consulting, and he moved to Bangkok. And he was
Okay.
making government, network security level, like wages for the government, like, and living in Bangkok in a penthouse, and like just making so much money.
Just baller status.
Yeah, I was like, that's smart. That sounds awesome.
So you said the last year, it's been about a year where you've been completely free of a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Correct?
just about.
Correct. So
Well, like before that, I was in school before that, so even more than that. But
okay,
yeah, like living out of school.
yeah, your music pays the bills.
Yeah.
So have you noticed have you noticed that you get up, what the time that you get up and start your day is different compared to when you had to
Yeah,
rely
it
on a 9 to
varies.
5?
No, what's a great thing about not having the 9 to 5 is like I don't have an alarm clock,
Yeah. Oh my god!
I haven't woken up to an alarm clock. The only time I do is probably like when I have a flight or something, or I need to like drive someone somewhere, or you know, like drive someone to the airport, or I have to get up for someone else.
Right.
But for me, like for me, I just let. I don't like waking up to that stuff. You know, like
nobody does.
It's not. I don't think it's healthy. But I think I would wake up. I wake up pretty regularly. Like, you know, it depends. You know, sometimes I'll go out and, you know, quote unquote work by going to the bar and talking to people, you know, and networking and stuff. And, you know, most of the music happens at night. So sometimes when there's a lot of things happening, like it's going to be in the summer, chances are I'm going to be staying up a little later. And then I wake up a little later. But in the winter, when I was prime working, you know, like I would wake up every morning at 7:30 or 8. Sometimes go to yoga, come back, or wake up at 8 and 9. Just my biological clock, you know.
Yeah, I think like a somewhere around 10 o'clock. If you sleep till noon, then
you should tell him what your alarm ringtone is, because you have to set an alarm.
Oh shit. Good. Yeah, I forgot about it. Let me show you here.
Sometimes when you set an alarm, the worst is like when it's this most hideous sound that wakes you up from your sleep. Ugh. And they have those alarms where it's like the sun is slowly rising, or you can play songs or whatever.
Right.
But Sarge has a specific
better to
song
wake up to.
set for his alarm.
I'll play the song once I find it here. Keep talking. I'm looking.
But that's awesome. And the funny thing is I'm a mom, so I have to set an alarm all the time, and the times when I don't I always wake up earlier when I don't have to set an alarm versus when I do. Like, how does that work? I feel like I'm getting screwed. Like, I don't have to set an alarm tomorrow. It's the best day ever. Oh, I'm up at 6:30 for no reason.
Because you know that there's no alarm, so you're probably like, your subconscious is like, oh, there's not an alarm. I need to make sure I wake up in time.
Yeah, or I just want to get up and like do stuff because I don't have to. I get to do whatever I want to do instead of having to do the 9 to 5.
Right, you want to use the best of the time as you can.
Exactly. It's so funny.
And I never used the old snooze button, like ever.
Oh, I always snooze.
Before I met you, Frenzy.
So you're blaming me for your snooze problems?
Yes, 100%. Never use snooze. I used to talk shit about people who use snooze. Like, why do you do that? Just set the alarm for the time you're supposed to get up, and then get up once it goes. But you hit snooze a million times and get like this like semblance of sleep. You're like, oh, in like 5 or 10 minute increments. It's not actual sleep. It's like true. It's like a placebo.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not asleep. I would do that. I would always have to snooze, like do it 3 or 4 times.
No, I'm like,
I set like multiple
but if you're like
alarms.
Super tired, you do it, and then like it accidentally dismisses it or something, and then you get late.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, you accidentally hit like dismiss or whatever instead of the snooze.
If you're a professional snoozer, you don't hit snooze. You set multiple alarms and you shut them off.
So this is
that's a good one.
Cullah, this is what I wake up to every morning. This is what wakes me up in the morning.
I went down to Chicago. I didn't know where else to go. I was paid to shoot a man. I just shot him and then I ran.
So good.
Gone Away by Cullah from your Cullah the Wild album.
Do you really wake up to that?
That's my alarm.
That's what his alarm is set
That's
to.
my alarm tone every morning.
Yeah, I wonder how do you feel about it then, Mike?
Well,
some associations to it? It must be.
It was carefully chosen because I wanted something that I wouldn't wake up to, where I was like, I would wake up angry. You know what I mean? Like a really annoying sound. Because for a while I had like really annoying like alarms and sirens and, you know, something that you wake up and you're like, son of a bitch, and you're just mad at the alarm clock and you're mad that you're awake. But I didn't want something that was too soft where it wasn't actually going to wake me from sleep. And I was looking through your music, and this was the one that I settled on, Gone Away. It's the one that just fit that feeling perfectly. Where
yeah, that's kind of like gotta go away, gotta get out of here.
Yep. I'm not happy that I have to wake up, but at least I'm waking up to this, and it's not too intrusive. It's not, it's not too soft. It's just right, and it can ease me into the day that I'm not excited to wake up to at the moment.
Sarge approved.
Yep, it is. It's Sarge approved. So yeah, there you go. Gone Away. Recommended for your wake up alarm sound.
Yeah, songs. I think that's a good idea to wake up to songs, especially ones that you might like or might like. Don't have any, won't trigger any, like you said, being angry.
Yeah,
waking up angry sucks.
Well,
man.
That can be a pretty pivotal moment in your day. That moment that you wake up.
Yeah.
Setting the tone with the right alarm tone, I think could make a difference, at least the beginning stages of your day, because there's times where I wake up and I'm just pissed off, just like not happy at all that I'm awake at the moment.
Yeah, on the wrong side of the bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I used to have, I had an alarm tone that was like, it was a mashup of all the most annoying sounds you could think of. Like car alarms and sirens and roosters and horns and whatever. It was just a mashup of it. And I was like, this will definitely wake me up in the morning. There's no way I could sleep through this. But every time it went off, I was like, you son of a bitch. I just hated it. I hated the sounds. But then I'd pick softer ones. And softer ones I'd sleep through. You gotta have something cool. Something that's going to either pump you up or put you in good vibes. Maybe you could put some like Good Vibrations by Marky Mark. That might put you in a good mood.
That's a good one.
He's got
no doubt.
Good vibrations. Dun, dun, dun. It's such a
song.
Sweet scent. It's so weird to think that Mark Wahlberg used to be Marky Mark. How is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean he's definitely had an interesting career arc.
Yeah, I'd say. Do you know that he was originally in the New Kids on the Block? But he never actually. Basically, for like a day. He was one of the original members, but he decided he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to. He wanted to go out on his own. Model.
I did see New Kids on the Block in concert.
You were a New Kids on the Block junkie.
Yeah, I was.
You might still be a little bit.
I haven't seen them since they've done their like re-tour things, but
they're still
Boyz II Men,
on tour.
New Kids on the Block.
So who was everybody? Any girl who was a huge New Kids on the Block fan had their one member that they were totally infatuated with, and who was it for you?
Well, let me first say that if your guy was John, you're a weirdo. Mine was Jordan. Jordan was John's.
Shots fired.
John was the brother.
Jordan, is that
Jordan Knight?
Knight?
Yeah.
The dude with like the dark hair and really.
He was my favorite.
He was kind of the main guy, wasn't he?
No, Joey McIntyre was one of the main ones.
He was like that cute cute little Justin Timberlake.
And then Donnie Wahlberg, Marky Mark's brother.
He was the bad boy.
Was kind of the bad boy, and then he like disappeared after New Kids on the Block, and then he ended up in that movie Fear. He was like the burglar guy.
No, that was Mark Wahlberg in Fear.
Oh no, Donnie was in The Sixth Sense.
Donnie was in the Saw movies.
Sixth Sense was the one I'm thinking of. He's the killer.
Oh, that was Bruce Willis.
No, he was in one of those movies.
Donnie Wahlberg was in Sixth Sense?
I think so.
Lindsay.
What?
Our listeners right now are like, no! It was this
He played
movie.
like a killer or a burglar or something.
He was in the Saw movies?
Yeah, The Sixth Sense. Thank you very much.
He was?
Yes.
Who did he kill?
I don't remember.
What? How do you remember that Donnie Wahlberg?
Because I remember
nobody else knows that Donnie Wahlberg was in The Sixth Sense.
I hadn't seen him in anything in forever, and then I was
Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osmosis, or whatever his name is.
He lost 43 pounds to play the character that he played. Yeah.
Was he fatty for a while?
Dedication.
I don't know.
So
nobody cares.
You like Jordan Knight?
I like Jordan.
He's basically like the lead dude. He was like the heartthrob, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
Who's the main
remember
guy?
he had clear braces, I think. And then one time
Invisalign.
we went to the concert at the Met Center, which is no longer there. It's where across from Mall of America, where our old hockey team used to play there.
The North
The
Stars.
North Stars, yeah.
Wait, Cullah, do you even know who the New Kids on the Block are? You might be a little too young for
Yeah,
that.
I wasn't around when I didn't grow up listening to them, but I've heard of them and heard their music.
Yeah. But I went to Catholic school and we went as a group of girls and we made signs that says Jordan has a hot butt and put hot. We made it with like flames, like a fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. That was when I was growing up.
Yeah. So they did a couple years ago. New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys did like a tour together. Yeah, the right stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a dance that goes with this.
Oh yeah, heavily choreographed dance. Cullah, do you see yourself doing any choreographed dance moves in any of your live shows?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, why not?
I dare you. What your band is the
Let's be tasteful.
what's your band? The Commodores?
No, the Commodores.
Commodores. What is it? The Comrades.
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 Yeah, we played. Comrades. They played with me.
Yes, and is that
Commodores? Though I was thinking if I was going to do like an electronic set with a different band, it'd be like Commodore 64s. Call them or some. I was thinking of Commodores,
cool.
but that's already a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, the night shift.
But the Comrades you play with, is that your band, or is that a band that you can collaborate with, or?
It's kind of like a fluid thing somewhere in between those. Okay. Like it's like a group of guys that essentially like they're. I've been playing with some of them for a while, and some of them are some new. And it's about there's 4 guys: keys, bass, drums, and guitar. And there's some other drummers and other key people that come in and out. It's it's basically just a backing band for my music.
Yeah. And
occasionally we'll do some other things. So it's kind of like it's not like my band. Like they're very much kind of like I'll come with songs and be like, hey, do you guys know what this is? And like try and play it, and they'll like help arrange it and set it up live. And they're very much part of the process of like arranging the songs live. Like when we play, all the songs they're not like totally different. All the words are the same, the arrangements are similar, but we'll switch it up, depending and change it up and stuff, and with their help. So I've been playing with them now, like for just a little under a year.
Okay,
that's cool.
In June I started playing with them, and they're amazing. They bring a whole nother. I can go up and sing with a banjo by myself, or whatever. But we're very much like funk, rock, soul heavy. Like it hits hard, goes fast. We go fast, we hit hard.
That's cool. That expands your capabilities when you're doing live shows. Being able to have a band behind you, and it's not just you a one man show trying to,
spectacle.
Yeah,
and it's like it's nice because sometimes I don't have to do anything but sing. And it's like. And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I'll play, I started playing on the keys and like having everyone play with me on the keys, but then I switched from keys to guitar and like try and do everything. And it's just like, you know what? You guys are better at these instruments than I am anyway. So why don't you just do that? And I'll just sing.
You do your thing and I'll sing.
Right. So I'll play every once in a while. I'll play the guitar when we need to. For some of those like blues songs where it's finger picking on the guitar or something that I need to do that. With the rhythm behind it.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just me. Like I think I play Blazing Day and Reverse. Like Reverse on the Call of the Wild. That one was really fun to play live. We got a cool arrangement for that.
That's cool.
Wow.
So you're gonna do the Cullahsus album release at Company Brewing in Milwaukee next Friday.
I gotta pee again.
Yeah, man, that's next Friday already. We got 3 more rehearsals and we're going to do it. We got a great opener. There's going to be a whistle battle.
Oh, what? A whistle battle? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
The opener, D'Amato, he's an incredible vocalist and whistler.
Okay.
And I have another friend who's going to be playing at our Jam and Toast next, May 20th, little like showcase series that I've been hosting. And he is, I don't know who's better whistler, and so we're going to find out.
That's awesome.
So somewhere like maybe halfway in the set, the comrades are just going to lay down some groove that they can whistle to.
Some jams, some whistling jams.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just going to trade off, and then, we're going to. I'm not trying to like make it super competitive. It's just more for fun, just to showcase how good of whistler these guys are.
Yeah,
but
appreciate
we'll see.
The whistling.
We can gauge audience reaction and see who wins.
And the jam one, that's May 20th, at Angelo's Piano Lounge in Milwaukee. Gosh, I can't believe it's May. It's so weird to me today. I know it's the end of April, but it just seems weird that it's May already. I don't know. Maybe because winter's taken over for so long. Like, I don't know. What's summer again? What's the sun? I forgot.
This winter was a little too long.
It was a little too long.
It was okay, but then that last, like you guys got it real bad up there. But we had it bad for like a couple days, where they had to bring this blouse out again.
Yeah, it was. It literally
April 20th.
Yeah, snowed for about 3 days straight.
April 20th.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be awesome to see, especially since you were talking about trying to utilize YouTube more. I think it would be hilarious if you and the comrades put together a song and do the choreographed dance routine that you say that you're totally capable of doing, and write a legitimate boy band type song using your musical talents, your instrumental talents, and in a way kind of a parody, but just make it straight up boy band.
That would be a fun experience. I'm sure that they would.
I dare you.
I have some dancers. I've been talking to some people trying to get some dancers on some music videos and stuff, and they've got some choreographed experience. And I would just be shooting from the hip and just making stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But I could get those dancers involved.
Yeah,
I don't know how boy band we can get, but yeah, like if it's a satire,
satire.
Totally down with that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Make it a satire. Make it kind of ironic and satire. Like I think that would be not only fun but hilarious.
Boy bands are so in right now. We got to do this.
Boy bands are back, man.
Yeah,
they never went away.
It's all cyclical.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring it back.
Yes.
Bring it back.
They change the name. Have the name change. Someone comes and comrades. It's played out. Russia, gotta come up with a name.
Oh, I love it.
Do you feel like
Cullah
since
and
this,
the cuddles.
yeah, Cullah the cuddles. It's like listening to a hug.
Mm-hmm. It's like listening to a cuddle.
So this last year, since you've been free of the 9-to-5 type life, do you feel like having the extra time that this current album was it any easier for you? Putting it together and finishing it. Yeah.
The last one was like I said, kind of like a tragedy. Like it was all thrown together at the end, like last minute, super. And there was a lot of emotional things involved.
I was gonna say
big break of big changes, big things in my life. And then making those moves and kind of like not being and living in my parents' basement. I love them, but like
I gotta go.
That's definitely weighed a lot. And so like after the release, I remember like pretty much having a panic attack or like just this huge like whole like kind of emotional wave that I was not expecting. And this album here this year, like I was pretty much on it. Like I was hitting all my targets and of like expectations and making sure that I had planned it right, and like making sure I wasn't going to be scrambling at the end to do more composition or like a recording or like this. It was all last minute mixing. Like I was happy like the last day. I'm like going and finding these little tiny clicks and pops and stuff and tiny little things, editing them, and I was thinking, oh man, I got all these things to do. But then I like took a step back and be like these are the things that you want to be doing at the end. Like I don't like the little tiny things that no one probably would notice anyway, but me.
Right.
But I found it easier because I had more time and I was able to write consistently. Like last year, I wasn't really writing for the first half of the year. Like I had it, but like I was basically just traveling all over, finishing school, finishing my master's thesis, and then traveling, and then dealing with all the different things, and it wasn't really. And I was like always on the go and didn't have much space and room to do it. And but now I had a little more autonomy and like space to be able to go at my own pace again. Like it was kind of like the other ones, like you were saying, Be Love Not Fear. I just re-uploaded that onto to put it on to something else. And what is it, like 14 songs or like 17 or something? Like some albums with 17
I think it's 17.
songs.
I know there's a few that have 12, a couple that have 12, and then one had like only 6 or 8. Be Love Not Fear has 17.
Yeah, 17. It's like, geez, man. Maybe it's because that came out after the Pack of Clones, maybe. Because maybe that's more than a year's worth of things. I don't know.
Pack of Clones has 32.
Holy.
Yeah, those are a lot of like most of those are little beats and stuff. Those are really a 2-year thing. It's like 2 years of lost
because
stuff.
2011 is the only year you didn't release an album.
Yeah.
Or 2007.
Got destroyed.
2007 as well. Your first one was 2006.
2007's in there. It's just not on the site.
It's
that's
secret.
right. That's the secret one. We listened to
now
that
you can get it in the digital discography.
Yes.
But that's the only one. So you still have to know the secret code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
but
gave us secret code last
as far as this bit, like now I'm living. It kind of goes back to the conversation we were talking about waking up to alarm or whatever. Now I'm living in a room where essentially, like I'm working in a room rather where I'm sleeping in the same room as where my desk is with all my monitors and all the gear and stuff, and it's kind of I wake up and I don't wake up to an alarm, but my computer is staring right at me, my screens are staring at me, and all these things. My phone is still there, the work is still there. So like, okay, I don't wake up to the alarm, but I wake up to like all the work right staring in my face, right there, right in the same energy of work is in the same room as the sleep. So like I'm actually moving with the same guys. We're moving just to a bigger place in the same neighborhood, and I'm like tripling my space, and my sleep area is going to be separate from my work area, and I'm super excited about that.
That'll be good for you.
Yeah, but that's the wonderful thing about it is that
the energies.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful thing that you've gotten to a point where you're paying the bills with your music, with the thing that you love doing the most in life, because the majority of people in this world do not ever get that opportunity. They never get the chance. A lot of them aren't even willing to take that chance and go after something that they have a passion for and make that their career and their source of income and what they do in life. A lot of people never even discover what it is that they have a passion for.
Right.
So the fact that you're doing it, you're not getting rich, you're not buying mansions off it yet, but that the fact that you're able to do just that, and you're able to push the 9 to 5 and forget about that and put that in the past, that's a fucking beautiful thing, man. It's something that a lot of people would love to be in that situation, especially if you're not married, you don't have kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can pursue your passions. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I couldn't afford that. Yeah, I feel really grateful and for all the opportunities I had and the ability to do this, and just like kind of that having that drive at an earlier age of just like. And being exposed to being able to how to write my own music at an early age, and being able to do that, the people that helped me find that, and I think it's like really the only reason that it's happening is because I've kind of stuck at that my whole life. Kind of feel like I've been building it my whole life. Kind of been like, okay, I'm going to do the safety net. I'll go to school for computer engineering and work in software. But once I was in there, it was just like, oh god, no, I would see sickness around me everywhere, and I would feel terrible, and I would sleep so weird. I would fall asleep in my desk all the time. I would fall asleep in meetings sometimes. I couldn't help it, Like, it was just, I don't know if it, and part of it might have been diet. Like, they'd always have donuts everywhere and stuff, and it was like,
Oh, yeah.
so much sugar crash is like,
Oh yeah.
Type 2 diabetes.
But still, man, I mean, I get you're a creative person. You're one of those type of people where you need to be creative to feel fulfilled. You know, is the vibe that I get. And those kind of people, like, they'll never be happy in a cubicle, you know, punching a time clock every day. They'll just be absolutely miserable. And, you know, people like comedians.
I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I need to start figuring out ways to not do this.
Yep.
And that's when
Exactly.
then I was like, all right, well, I'll go to school. It'll get me out of here. Might get me out of my relationship. In the back of my head, you know, maybe I'm thinking it'll be able to, like, everything that I'm associating with being trapped, you know, and even being in Milwaukee my whole life and stuff, and not experiencing any other city. So just being like, okay, if I leave here for 2 years, learn how to do music by professionals, you know, like at least get some more insight, and then, you know, like, and I feel like that helped me be able to just kind of have a nice little seamless break out of it. And then I came back and I was like, all right, well, right around that time, Spotify started, like, a lot of YouTubers and lots of, like, people that have been listening, like moving my you know, helping spread the music. Then Spotify started to get to these, like, all the music money that I'm making start to become pretty close to rent here in Milwaukee. And I was like, oh, okay, well, now this might actually be feasible.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of aligned perfectly. So now I'm just basically, you know, yeah, I don't work in the 9 to 5 anymore, but honestly, I work more than I ever have. Like,
right.
I've been just like grinding every day, you know, but I can choose to not if I want to.
Exactly.
You know, some it's just don't do anything.
Well, that's the
but
thing.
Usually, so far, it's not been like that. I've been pretty busy, especially with this release, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, I don't have a 9 to 5, but at least, like, to me, the stress is like, I'm stressing for my own long-term career goals, my own passion. It's not for anyone else.
Yeah, it's, you know, if you ask the average
yeah.
person, like, would you rather work 8 hours at a 9 to 5 job that you honestly don't give a shit about? You're making somebody else rich at a job that you're just collecting a paycheck. Would you rather work that 8 hours at that 9 to 5, or, you know, maybe, you know, you're pursuing your passion, whether it's fucking, you know, woodworking, or you like collecting, you know, you're a musician, or you're like, you have the world's largest collection of Star Wars figures, whatever it is that you find a way to, you know, you have a passion for, you may end up working more hours, you know, you, Cullah, making music. Say you put in 12 hours trying to put together a song, or contribute to your album, and compared to 8 hours at a 9 to 5, I guarantee you're a lot more fulfilled and a lot more satisfied and a lot more happy putting in more hours in something that you actually genuinely love, you know, compared to that 9 to 5. And maybe you're even making a little bit less than if you were doing a 9 to 5. But as long as you're able to pay the bills,
I'm definitely making less.
But even the fact that you can pay your bills,
moving from software to musician,
right? But I mean, that's still such a huge milestone. It really is. You know, even just looking at like a comedian, you look at successful comedians. Look at a big name comedian like a Jim Gaffigan, you know, or Kevin Hart. Most of these big name comedians, they didn't see their success or they became big mainstream names until they hit like their 40s. Like, they've been doing it since they were 19, 20 years old, and they were able to pay their bills. You know, at some point, maybe 10 years into it, they got to a point where they were able to, going on the road, doing shows, they were able to pay the bills. They're doing okay.
Right.
But they're not getting rich, but they're able to pay their bills. They're a professional, and they're living the life of a road comic or something. But the ones who are really good and keep at it and actually, you know, strive to get better and better, they don't see that big success until they're like in their 40s. They've been doing it for 20, 30 years.
I follow Bill Burr, and that's like his life, for what I understand of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, then once you hit a certain level, then like I think that's the thing with like the internet too. Like a lot of these people in their 40s, like there was no internet when they first started, right?
Oh,
Like, or maybe it was just going around. There was definitely no Facebook or like buying
Social
tickets
media.
online to see something. Yeah, there's no social media, that's for sure. And it's interesting. It's like, I don't know. There's so much easier to. It's easier and it's different. It's a totally different world now. Like comedians, like some comedians online where it's like they're viral YouTube comedians or something, or like people that just go and do magic tricks around. They're really good at editing. They can get so much money that way, and it's a lot of different strategies. Like I don't know. I've always tried to play the long-term strategy. Like got a lot of music, focus on the music, just work really hard, get at it. Build. Releasing for free. Keep my ethics and my principles. Just keep grinding, keep growing. And as long as it's growing, then there's nothing wrong. Like,
right,
and
me,
you
get
to
get to stay true to yourself.
Like,
too,
I'd
while
rather,
you're doing that.
I'd rather do that and wait and grind for 5-10 years than try and burn out real quick and lose all that. And because I've met people that I know people that are in music that have they get someone comes to them and they're like, hey, a label comes to sign this deal. We want to sign you. Like it's every musician's dream to be signed by a label. At least that's we were told.
Used to be.
And and now it's like I talked to this guy. I was telling him about they take the cut of they take almost everything. They're not getting the amount of money. Like like it's almost like working a 9 to 5. Your boss is the one getting the money.
And they're dictating what you get to create and what you get to put out there. And
a lot of times you don't even own the music you create.
Right. No. I couldn't do that.
No.
I mean, I'm totally open to working with labels and distributors and stuff. Like I'm definitely, but I'm always going to
want to have control in what you
my
put
website.
Out there.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Maintaining control of your property, the content that you create, that's huge.
Well, because then once you lose that, then you're not doing it for yourself anymore, and you're not doing it for the craft of it. You're doing it for them.
Yeah, that's the thing. The whole setup of these record labels, the way things used to run before the internet blew up, like that's a thing of the past. Record labels are a fastly dwindling business because the need for them is fastly dwindling with things like YouTube and SoundCloud and Spotify, all the things. You don't need a record label to distribute your music. You don't need to be
record it.
You don't need to be to record it. You can put out studio quality stuff in your studio apartment. You can call it
or your parents' basement.
My entire Cullahsus record was in a little room.
Yeah, exactly.
Like half the records are in dorm rooms. Like All the Colors of the Rainbow was in my freshman dorm.
Like you
That's
honestly,
insanity.
To become you may not be you may not get to the level of like a Garth Brooks without having radio play, but even radio is really dwindling. And I mean, so much of the
big thing now.
So much of the content you get comes from the internet. How many people listen to the radio for their music? There's still probably a good amount.
Just when you're driving. So that's the only time I do it. And I'm listening to the local. I mean, I'm sure you guys listen to, what is the Current? Is that one up there?
We used to have the Current. I miss the Current so much.
But a lot of
have
people
it
are getting their music from online. YouTube or these music streaming apps like Spotify and iTunes, whatever.
Apple Music.
They're looking at what's trending. Oh, this is the hot song right now. You don't need a record label anymore.
Yeah, but the problem with this is the hot song right now on the radio is you get to hear it 75 times in a row till it makes you go crazy where you don't want to hear. I don't listen to the radio anymore.
I listen to sports talk radio. That's the only thing I like listening to, or it's podcasts. I like listening to people talk.
I like oldie stations.
I do too.
Can listen to.
Yeah.
It's just like perfect driving music, or I'll have I have a little like. My mom gave me this Bluetooth, like FM transmitter, so like it connects to. It's Chinese. I don't know. She got it from some Chinese website. And
Chinese make all the
my
best
car
shit.
starts. My car starts, and it's always like "Di Zai Lin Qi," and then a couple seconds it's like "Zai Lin Qi," and it's just being like "Welcome." Or I think it's just saying I'm starting up, and then it's got another words that it says when it connects to my phone.
That's awesome.
And I don't know what it's saying. But I recognize the sounds that it's saying. It's like,
you kind of know what it's doing.
Yeah. Someone came in my car and they're like, and I'm like, oh shoot, that didn't connect. And they're like, well, you can understand that? I'm like, no, not really.
He's like,
I know that sound means not connected.
I know like 4 sentences of Mandarin now because of this Chinese FM transmitter I own.
That's awesome. I don't know. For me, riding in the car and listening to music is like one of my most favorite things to do. So I'd rather have my playlists and things saved on my phone or my iPod or whatever and jam out to whatever I'm in the mood to.
I feel like there's some songs.
Is happening.
I feel like there's some songs where they are the best. Like you get the best feeling from them when you're in your car and you're driving and you're jamming out. You got it cranked in your car. Sometimes that's the best version. That environment is when you're in your vehicle. Sometimes
there's something about that.
Yeah, sometimes it's the best version is when you're watching the music video. If it has a music video, not rarely, it's rare.
Yeah,
but sometimes the music video can improve a song.
No.
Sometimes it can.
Sometimes.
I'm saying sometimes.
I heard that music videos are a complete wash. Like, they make no money.
A lot of times, I think for the most part they are.
But
and then there's sometimes where the song, the best way to take it in is with earbuds. An earbud in both ears, where it's like going straight into your brain, and you have that shit cranked.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think for me the best is when it's like Minnesota summertime, you have your windows down, you're just jamming out.
But I think it
depends
on the song, though.
Yeah, it depends on the song.
I'm saying from environment to environment and song to song. Like each song,
it's
like
all
there's a
association
specific
in the environment.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, it's all personal.
When you're in the car, like you're kind of trapped in that space, and the music is usually surrounding you.
Yes.
Like with the speakers throughout the whole thing. So there's not many listening experiences just in general, like a car ride, and a lot of times your car is making a lot of noise, so you
it's
like
mostly singing along
tunes. And no one can hear you.
Yes.
So you can scream.
You're just jamming.
And
then you look over to the left and like someone's like laughing at you and you're just like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is happening.
Give them a thumbs up. Hey.
One of my favorite songs.
Yeah, right.
One of my favorite songs to scream to in the car and just cranking up and scream to is probably Free Fallin'.
Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's one of the great ones to just scream to.
Yeah. When I'm doing the mixing on the records, I usually listen to them all. When I'm writing music, I always bring it in the car and listen to how it is and how it is on headphones when I'm walking around. I have to do that so I can hear what it sounds like on every.
That's a good idea. See, that's how you know.
It's a way to. It's kind of almost a necessary thing. I can't trust myself I trust monitors to an extent, but I don't have like a pristine environment that everything's great because sometimes the car's got bigger subs than I do in my studio. Yeah. So like when you want to hear, is my low end way too high? But then you got to know, okay, well my subs in my car, like what is it? Oh, you got to make sure that it's the right level, and you got to know your environment. But I know I was going to visit my cousin, and I had just like pretty much did one of the final last mixes of all of the whole record, and I was listening to the record, and it was amazing. I had left it took me the exact whole record to get to his place, which was crazy. I was pulling out of my right from my place when the first song started, and I was like pulling into his driveway when the last song ended, and like through like I was going through it, and there's this one I know it's good, like for me at least now. I don't know, I was listening to it and I couldn't help but like I was just bawling for a couple of the songs, just like it about like how happy I was with how it turned out and how emotions involved with it, and because it's all this song is a little more cryptic. The last album was very explicitly like personal, but this in a lot of ways, but this one is very personal, but I don't think it's as explicit. There's a lot of allegory and storytelling and stuff, and more. It's a little more cryptic, more like the other older records. But to me, they're still very inward facing and personal songs, and and to me, it was, to hear them. I wouldn't have that. Sometimes I won't have that experience if I'm not in the car. I'm just being engulfed by it.
Yeah.
And when I can hear my favorite parts of the song that I was just working on, or like I hadn't heard in a while, and I forgot how it sounded or how it made me feel, and then just then I was like, okay, this is good. If it's making me feel like this, then that's usually my rickshaw test. Is like, if I'm feeling something, chances are someone else will. It won't be the same thing I feel.
Yeah.
But to me, it's good enough for me that I know that I'm feeling something, because then it's real. It has intention. It has it stands on its own in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm the one creating it, then I can only imagine that people would, at least so far. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know that for sure, but it seems to be that when I'll make the music, and over time people get emotional, responsive, and
absolutely.
I get messages from people, like paragraphs sometimes about how songs help them through hard times in their lives, or how things affect their lives, and it's just like, whoa, that's
it's
so
powerful.
Real.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was doing. It was just like, I just liked it. I just thought that was dope.
Well, you're a surprisingly deep and introspective and artistic dude, especially for your age, and an average white dude from the Midwest. You know what I mean? Your range musically is very impressive. You sound like a man far more mature than your years. Just what comes out in your voice, and the talent in the music that you put out. So that alone is impressive, despite the age. And it's just something that's rare, especially coming from somebody who's been doing it for 11 albums now.
2006.
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was mostly for myself doing it, and then I just started. I don't know, I started releasing it and then all of a sudden I release it, and it's like, whoa. I don't know if you heard of Last.fm. I would release it, and then I could go on there and see people using Last.fm. Was a pretty big, so a kind of online site where people would quote unquote, it was called scrobbling, where it was just basic. And I think Spotify still connects with Last.fm. Some other sites still do, but it's pretty. The site itself is kind of lost. It's majority of its users. Steam. But it was essentially, I could see people listening to my music live. People would be like, I'd search my artist name, and then I'd see 5 people are listening to my songs right now. And those are just the people that are scrobbling on Last.fm. Basically displaying what they're listening to everyone, and then it keeps the record of what they listen to, and at the time it was the only site the only thing that ever did that. And so I was like, whoa, people are listening? What's this crazy? What's going on here? and then I, more validation of people listening. Okay, maybe there's something to it. I'll stick with this and do it. I'll just keep making it. And then I was like, you know what? I should just keep doing this. This is really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
That's awesome.
So you've got, Cullahsus just dropped. You can find it on your website, Cullah.com, and that's CULLAH.com.
It should be on all the streaming sites, and it was sent to them today, so it is all confirmed and everything. So it should be coming up on everything. I think Bandcamp will be the first one probably, and then Google and Spotify and iTunes probably by the end of this week. So probably by the time people listen to this, then everyone will be able to find it on Spotify and Google Play, and along with the rest of all the albums.
Well, we're going to be promoting the shit out of that album. I guarantee we're going to be playing. We're going to be promoting your songs, playing your songs. It's what we do. We can't help it. We love your music, dude. We want as many people as possible.
I'm going to release instrumentals for this album too. I'll make sure you guys get a copy of that.
Yes,
that's amazing. I want to hear some banjo stuff too.
Oh yeah, and I challenge you, Cullah, you and the comrades to come up with a boy band song. Even if you don't do the choreographed dance routine, just to write and create a boy band song for satire.
That'd be a pretty fun video.
I think that'd be fun. I think you'd have fun with that. And you're
not,
you're not going against your ideals and what it's all for satire and just for fun. I think people would get a kick out of that.
Oh, yeah.
And you're still being
satire. That's when I
creative.
first started making music. Was all satire.
There you go. It's beautiful. You're still being creative, and you're making music. I think it'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I want to make that's part of the videos and YouTube's. I want to I have some satire on there. I did a satire of the Great British Bake Off. I don't know if you guys watch that show.
Oh,
No,
but
I'm going to.
Is that on your channel?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. It's with my sisters, and we just it's just a wholesome, goofy thing. And I did one with slime with my sister. She was all in this. I don't know. It's like the thing. I don't know if it's still in. I don't know if the trends have wavered, but they're just fun. Like part of this album, like from the last album, was like me wanting to fucking take myself way less seriously.
Yeah.
Like try to embrace comedy and satire a little more. Like there's some goofy, like the Helios 3 song on this record was very much like super laid back and kind of more goofy, and I'm like that's how I felt about it, at least. Like it wasn't as serious.
Yeah.
It was just more like, and same with like King Jebediah, the Falcon Messiah, like talking like things like that where it's just they're more about stories and goofy, and it's not as intense and serious. And I want to like lighten it up a little bit. And making videos and stuff is, I think, like when I first started making music, it was the easiest thing to do the satire. So I figure with video, it's probably the same. Mm-hmm. Like, just start with that, because I can learn the form. I can learn the form of the things that I'm making fun of, and still have the liberty and the artistic, artistic liberty to do that. Be like, oh, it's just for fun. It's just comedy. You don't have to think about cinematography or editing or whatever. But at the same time, I am, but not really. It's not the key thing.
That's the thing. Just
I can
have
get
fun
away
with
with
it. The world, everyone loves comedy. Everyone loves to laugh, to feel that feeling of laughter and just smiling at something. And you can still be creative. You can still put together like a great song, but it can be satire, and you can just have fun with it and not be so serious about.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a video, Slime Time. I wrote a song with my little sister who's on this record. She's at the end of the song Till It Last, second to last one, I think. And we did a thing called Slime Time. We wrote a song about slime, and she just kind of like improv.
Oh, nice.
This thing. I wrote this beat, kind of like doing like a Bill Nye the Science Guy kind of beat. That's at least what I was trying to do, the original one. And she just like kind of sang over it and just made some stuff up. And she came up with some great comedy in it too, like making puns and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's my sister.
That's on the Till It Last song.
No, that's on you. She's featured on there.
She's the only one that's featured on that album besides him.
Yeah, but is it on that song Till It Last?
The video is on YouTube. It's called Slime Time.
Oh, okay. Slime Time. Okay.
And she just basically shows me how to make slime, which is like this phenomenon among kids. I don't know, like people are making a lot of money on that too. There's millions and millions and millions of views of just slime. It's kind of just like
why do kids like
just a trend, I think. I don't know how. Maybe it's a permanent trend. I don't know how long.
I don't know. My son's obsessed with slime. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Going on? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we made some the other day, and
it looks cool.
He wants to put it in the freezer and see what happens to it after you put it in the freezer, and then.
Wow, Slime Time.
I think that's great.
You type in Slime Time on YouTube, and there's a million different results.
Yeah, there's homemade slime.
That's a thing. Slime Time is a thing.
Slime is a real thing, that's for sure, yeah.
Wow. So
she uploaded some video to her channel, and it got, recommended. She just must have been in the trending thing, which someone was telling me about, getting in the pipelines of being in the right place at the right time on YouTube, and making the videos for the trends. And then when you do that, you can put it in the pipeline, and it'll get shot right into the front, closer to the front page of the search results or the trending areas and stuff. And she just stumbled upon that, making a thing about fishbowl slime or something, and all of a sudden she was getting hundreds. I think she got 100,000 views. She's only got 2 videos. This is her second one she ever made.
Yeah.
And she comes to me. She's like, what do I do? Some of these people are saying some not so nice things in the comments.
Yeah, you gotta tell her, do not read the YouTube comments. Wow, you would the type of comments you get from YouTube listeners oofda. It's best to just ignore them completely.
I've never gotten. Actually, I rarely, if not ever, have gotten a negative comment. So if any of your listeners wants to come and say something mean, I would appreciate it. So we can balance it out a little bit.
We've gotten a few on YouTube.
A few, depending on the guest.
It's been one guest.
Yeah.
When we had JC Johnson on, the cryptozoologist.
Yeah.
R.I.P. JC Johnson. He's no longer with us. Sucks. That guy was awesome. Cryptozoologists, kind of dudes that are into like werewolves and
Bigfoot,
banshees and Bigfoots, and he's the kind of guy
Trolls
who is
the
kind of guy who is like him being a cryptozoologist. He's seen every single type of creature that's out there, all the mythological creatures. He's not just seen one. He's not just a dude that went out camping and saw Bigfoot once. He's seen everything: chupacabra, banshees. The Mothman, Bigfoot. He just so happened to have encountered every single creature out there. So, hey, it was fun. He's an awesome dude, but a little hard to swallow some of the things that he claims to have experienced.
Yeah.
But a gigantic following.
And super nice guy.
Oh, yeah. But you get some of those listeners who are like,
well, they're opinionated, and that's fine.
So you've got some shows coming up in May.
May 11th at Good Company Brewing.
Yeah,
Milwaukee
shows.
Yep.
Should be up. If everything works out well, we'll be up in the Twin Cities by the end of the summer.
Heck
at least.
yeah.
If not sooner.
We gotta see you live.
We were shooting for July, but we'll see if we can. I have all bands. I have some bands to do it, but anyway, yeah, here in Milwaukee, a big album release show that's next Friday, May 11th, at Company Brewing, hip spot here in River West. And actually on Cinco de Mayo, I'm playing a house show here in River West with some great local musicians and a touring band, playing the same set I played when I went down to Joshua Tree recently with one of the leader of the Comrades, Pat Mullen. He came with me, and he plays drums. He usually plays guitar, but he knows all my tunes better than me. Half the time, sometimes we'll be performing, and I'll forget what I'm saying because I have just terrible memory for lyrics, even my own, especially my own. There's just so many of them, But I turn to him, and see him mouthing a couple words. Like, okay, get right back into it.
That's awesome.
Isn't Joshua Tree basically the desert?
Yeah, it is. It's the Mojave. It's beautiful there, though.
So were you guys just like doing mushrooms and looking at the stars at night? That's pretty much what Joshua Tree is,
camp
right?
in Joshua Tree.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's the go-to move going out of Joshua Tree. I was there for it was a little motorcycle festival. These
Palm
guys
Springs.
Nowhere Moto Show. They flew me out there to perform, and so we did. And I wasn't able to stay in Joshua Tree for too long. Then I went and then went over to LA to stay with some friends. But it was awesome. So we played kind of like a White Stripes, Black Keys type set,
Nice.
where just like
That's awesome.
I bought a new pedal that Jack White was like used since he was started. Just gives him that signature. I think Led Zeppelin uses it and stuff too, and Pink Floyd.
That's awesome.
Called the Big Muff.
I've camped in Joshua Tree before. I love it there.
Playing that.
That's
Yeah,
great.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been. I want to experience that.
Joshua Tree is great.
Yeah, that's what I hear. All right, we got to wrap this up. We got to pull this train to the station. Cullah, I feel like we could talk to you all night, brother.
I know. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I loved it.
No, I'm happy. I was happy to come back again.
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
The summer, you have to come in July because Sarge and I both have birthdays in July. So we could have like a birthday, celebrate your birthday and our birthdays.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I think we need to have you on every year. Every time.
Well, obviously.
We're just going to have you on around your birthday every year. Every time you drop an album. I mean, we definitely have you on more often than
same
that.
time every year.
Yeah.
At least.
At least.
At least every year on your birthday.
Yeah, I'll come back.
He's like, I'll think about it.
All
just
right,
let me
man.
know. I'll do it.
Yeah,
All right,
we love
sweet.
having you, man.
Yes.
And like we said, we're true fans, and we love spreading your music out there because we love jamming to it.
Spreading the Cullah love.
Hell yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm happy you guys like the new record too.
Yeah,
definitely.
we do.
All right, brother. So people can find all your shows and your music and stuff on Cullah.com, CULLAH.com. And YouTube, go to YouTube because you're going to be putting out that boy band song within the next year.
Yeah, I put that on my video to-do list.
Yes.
Just wrote it down.
I look forward to it. Hell yeah. All right. Thank you again, brother. We really, really appreciate you sharing your time with us, man.
Hey, yeah, I'm happy to. I'm happy to talk to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great time last time, and same with now.
Yay.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
All right. Happy summer to you, and we'll be in touch
Yeah, you
because we're
too.
going to come watch
Enjoy the
you jam
weather.
out some banjos and stuff. I can't
Yes,
wait.
sir.
Yeah, if you don't come down here, I'll be up there.
All right.
So.
Sounds good.
Beautiful. All right. Later, brother.
All right, take it easy.
You too.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
It's time for the outro. This episode is wrapping up. That was Cullah, one of our favorite musicians. Love jamming to his music. The guy's insanely talented. It's kind of crazy when you listen to him on our show. He's such a soft-spoken, kind of mellow dude. And then you listen to his music, and he seems like two totally different people. It's like he does this Jekyll and Hyde when he starts jamming out and making music. He's insanely talented. The voice doesn't even match his regular talking voice. You're like, who is this guy? This does not sound like the same person. I think I figured it out. He's got some kind of Jekyll and Hyde thing going on. He morphs into Cullah. He starts making music. But we always have a great time with him. It's the second time he's been on the show. We went a lot longer this time. And it's great. He puts out an album every single year on his birthday. The guy is insanely prolific, and we love his music. We love having him. Just a good dude. So we hope you enjoyed it. Sponsoring this episode is the Comics Watching Comics, which you can find on Amazon Prime. Seasons 1 through 5 are up right now. Season 6 is coming soon. If you follow all their social media stuff, you'll be able to find out updates on when Season 6 will be coming to Amazon Prime. Also, the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast, hosted by Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul, those New York comedians, those wacky fellas, talking about sports and movies and all that stuff, giving you the lowdown on the lines for the games coming up. It's a good show, and they're on all the podcast streaming platforms. Go check it out. Send them some love. Coming up on the show here in the month of May, we're going to have Tony Kaz coming on, a comedian from the 502. I think he's the last member of the 502 of comedy that we haven't had on the show yet. So we figured we got to get him on. We've had everybody else in the 502 on, as far as I know. And we always have a good time with those 502 guys. We love those dudes. They're always a lot of fun, and just a really laid back kind of goofy conversation we can have with these guys. Comedians are usually the easiest to just kind of get goofy with. So we got him coming up. We have hilarious international headlining comedian Louis Katz is going to be coming on the show. And also we're going to have Larry Venturino coming back. He hasn't been on. It's been, oh man, he was like episode 20. So it's been a while. He's a hilarious comedian from Florida, down there at the Laugh-In Comedy Club in Florida. I think he hosts a show there. And he's a good friend of ours, great guy. And so we're looking forward to having him back on. All right, I'm going to play this episode out with, of course, a song by Cullah from his new album, Cullahsus. And let's see, which song we want to do here. We're going to play Till at Last You heard a little bit of it in the intro, and we're going to play out the entire song for this episode. So, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. And here, I'll do Frenzy's part. Bye! Later, fuckers.
Was the sound of the falling leaves. It's the crinkling and rustling around in the breeze while summer slumbers and is sleeping for love. What's the sound of the calling heart? Aching and mistaken and nearly split apart in pieces, little pieces of love. What's the sound of a big drum beat? Booming and stopping, zooming and stomping your feet. Oh, it's the beat of love. What's the sound of a robin's call? Does it puncture like the pungence of a coming fall through wind and all? This perfume of love. What's the matter with my staggering feet? It's a matter of a stammer of my big heartbeat while I wonder of love. What's the sound of a chorus ring when the children start to singing about innocent things, about autumn, and we listen with love.
Autumn winds begin to blow, colored leaves fall fast and slow, twirling, whirling all around, till at last they touch the ground. Autumn winds begin to blow, colored leaves fall fast and slow, twirling, whirling all around, till at last they touch the ground.
Autumn winds begin to blow,
Colored leaves fall fast and slow,
twirling, whirling all around.
till at last they touch the ground. Till at last they touch
Till at last they touch the grass, 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 they touch the